Waiting for someone, Doctor?
Oh, my. No, I had to take the boat up the river to the Simmonses and thought I'd stop by.
See if you could borrow some more money from Jason. Well, make yourself comfortable, Doctor. Jason went hunting this morning, and he probably won't be back before noon.
Oh? Did he go with Kite?
No, he went alone. Kite took the boat into Cajun Landing to meet Mr. Adams.
Adams?
A guest of Jason's. He'll be staying with us a few days to do some hunting.
You always seem to have plenty of men hanging around, don't you? Is Shep Hollow still here?
Yes, he is. What's the matter, Doctor? You sorry you're safe?
Help!
That's Jason.
Help! He's been shot.
Jason, what happened?
Don't try to talk. We've got to get him inside the house.
I'll get Shep to help.
Jason Trumbull was the president of a large company that I had done plant security work for from time to time. So an invitation to spend a weekend duck hunting at his home in the Bayou country was natural enough. Following the instructions accompanying the invitation, I rented a car in New Orleans and drove to Cajun Landing on the Bayou Sombre. After an hour's traveling, I felt as though I'd driven some sort of time machine at least 100 years back into the past. Cajun Landing was a small cluster of buildings on the edge of the bayou. I'd been told by Trumbull that I would be met there by his caretaker, a man named Kite.
Adams? Yeah, that's right. Get in, up front.
What about my car?
Leave it. Boat's the only way in and out of the shadows. That's what we call the Trumbull place. Car'll be safe. Ain't nobody around here got any use for it. Get it.
Named. It was a dark, brooding place. An almost impenetrable wall of canebrake and cypress lined its banks. Spanish moss hung from the trees like long, tattered shrouds. The land on which the Trumbull house was located was actually an island in the middle of the bayou and swamp. And the house itself, the Shadows, had been as appropriately named as had the bayou. It was an old place, predating the Civil War, and there was an air of gloom and foreboding about it.
What's the matter? You speak up. What's the matter?
It's Mr. Trumbull. He's been hurt.
Hurt? How?
He's been shot.
Here, I'll take that.
Mr. Adams?
Yes.
Dr. Sage say bring you to Mr. Trumbull when you come.
I'm Dr. Sage. How is he? Well, the wound itself isn't too serious, but he lost a lot of blood. I had to give him a sedative.
Can he talk?
I don't know.
Trumbull. It's Adams. How did it happen?
There was no accident, you can be sure of that.
Who shot you, Trumbull?
Shep, a friend of his who came hunting a couple of weeks ago and stayed on.
Shep.
I'm gonna kill you, Harlow. Kite! Let him go! I'm gonna kill you too. You helped him.
What's the matter with you, you crazy fool? He thinks you tried to kill Jason.
He said you did. He heard him. The doctor heard him.
He just said Shep's name. We don't know what he meant.
I know what he meant.
Get out of here. Get out!
Now, wait a minute.
Let him go.
I'll be back.
Can't talk to him. It's like trying to reason with one of Jason's dogs.
He says he'll be back. He means it.
Well, I'm getting out of here.
Now, wait.
What for? Let him take another crack at me? You saw him. You tangled with him. He's a madman. He's a killer.
He's not going to kill anybody.
I wouldn't be too sure about that, Mr. Adams.
Where's your telephone?
Telephone?
Well, I think it's about time somebody called the police, don't you?
Well, there isn't a telephone within 20 miles of here.
Well, I'm leaving.
If Trumbull can handle Kite, is there any chance of waking him up?
Well, with the sedative I gave him, he'll sleep for hours, maybe until morning. Besides, he may make matters worse if he wakes up and tells all he knows.
Shep didn't shoot Jason. He couldn't have. He was in his room all morning.
How do you know? Were you with him?
Why, you...
Hold it!
If Shep's leaving, I'm going with him.
Do you think Harlow shot Trumbull?
Well, all I can say is that Jason's a mighty rich man. And Myra would be a rich woman if he was dead. And a free woman.
Free to marry Harlow?
Well, it's no secret the way they've been carrying on. Everybody seems to know about it, except maybe Jason. I don't know if Harlow shot him, but it doesn't make any difference whether he did or didn't. Kite thinks he did.
I'm going to find Kite and try to talk to him.
Be a little careful, Mr. Adams. Myra was right when she said that Kite was like one of Jason's dogs. That's no exaggeration. It's the way Jason trained him for nearly 30 years, ever since he took him in after his folks left him out in the swamp to die. He was about 5 or 6 years old at the time, and he grew up thinking that Jason Trumbull was the Almighty himself. Well, I better get back to my patient.
Wait a minute! You seen Kite?
The dock.
That's close enough, mister.
I want to talk to you, Kite.
Just put the gun down and go on back to the house.
Will you listen to me?
You heard me. We ain't got nothing to talk about.
I want you to take me to a telephone so I can call the police.
The only place these boats are going is where I hide them. Then nobody ain't leaving here, not till I get Harlow and Mrs. Trumbull.
Don't be foolish, Kite. You can't be sure about Harlow. At least wait till Trumbull wakes up and we can question him.
And if he don't wake up, we can't never talk to him. We ain't another waste time. Now get away from here. I won't aim to miss next time, mister. Now you turn around and start walking. You leave that where it is. Keep walking.
Back to the house and called Harlow, Myra, and Dr. Sage into the parlor. I told Harlow and Myra they could stop packing. They weren't leaving. Not unless they knew a way out without a boat.
Jason or Kite could get through the swamp. They know every inch of it. It'd be suicide for us to try it.
Oh, we gotta get out of here somehow. Maybe we can find out where Kite hid the boats. Yvette probably knows.
Well, if she does, she wouldn't tell us.
Why not?
She's Kite's wife.
Well, I don't want to see Lauren Kite killing anybody. Not so much for your sakes as for his. So maybe I can help you get out of here.
How?
There's an old houseboat on the south fork of the bayou. Nobody lives there now. You two ought to be able to pole your way down the river to the Cajun landing.
What do you think Kite's going to be doing between here and the houseboat?
Well, if they can get away without his seeing them, they might make it.
Well, I'm willing to risk it.
Will you come with us?
We'll pay you, Adams.
I don't want your money, Harlow. I just think you're making a big mistake. Kite knows his way around out there. We don't.
Well, then we'll just have to go alone.
I couldn't change Shep Harlow's mind, or Myra's either. That left me no choice. I couldn't let them go alone. Fortunately, there were a couple of rifles left, and I had a feeling we'd need them. Myra Trumbull was vaguely familiar with the route to the south fork of the bayou and the houseboat we hoped to find there. The semblance of a path following a ridge of comparatively high ground made the first couple of miles fairly easy going. If we'd given Kite the slip before he'd returned to the house from hiding the boats, we were home free. But we couldn't be sure he hadn't seen us leave the house. But then, suddenly, that question was answered.
Get down! Where is he?
We'll find out soon enough.
I think he's across the swamp.
Well, for whatever it's worth, you're absolutely right.
Do you think you hit him?
I think that may be what he wants us to think.
I think you got him.
Well, it's pure luck if I did. I'm not going to go prowling out there to find out. Let's move out. And when you go fast and keep low. Nearly an hour later, we reached a clearing in front of the houseboat. We had heard no more from Lauren Kite and his rifle, but I knew that didn't mean we'd heard the last from him.
get it untied and get out of here.
Don't be a fool. You got to circle around ahead of us and be waiting in there.
What are we gonna do?
I'll wait till it's dark, and then I'll try to check it.
What's so funny?
I was just thinking, when your husband asked me down here to go hunting, it never occurred to me to ask him which side I'd be on. You wait here.
He's hit!
Myra, get back! My leg. How's Myra?
Dead.
How can Kite do that? Hunt us down like animals.
Well, I don't know, Harlow. That's the way I'm going to hunt him. I got Shep Harlow into the houseboat and did what I could for his leg. I knew I couldn't pull this boat down to Cajun Landing by myself.
What are we going to do now?
Well, I'm going back to Trumbull's to get some help somehow. You'll be all right till I get back. Kyle obviously thought he killed both you and Myra, or he wouldn't have left. Keep this around just in case.
What is it?
The gun Kite had when I saw him down at the dock was a 30-06.
What about it?
It came from a 30-30.
So?
I don't know. Well, you better douse that light. You'll be less conspicuous.
Get back. You killed Lauren. Now I'm going to kill you. Throw your gun away.
This is Kite's gun. Where did you get it?
I followed him into the swamp. I found him there.
Dan, if you killed Kite in the swamp, he couldn't have been the one shooting at us in here. Now, if it wasn't Kite, who could it have been?
Who else is left?
Sage.
Why Sage?
Sage has been after Myra for years, and she's done nothing but laugh in his face.
You stay here with Mr. Harlow.
Adams, I thought you'd be at Cajun Landing with Myra and Harlow by this time.
You're a liar, Sage. Myra is dead and Harlow's hurt, and you know it. It was you that ambushed us from that houseboat.
No.
Kite couldn't have done it. I'd killed him a couple of hours earlier back in the swamp. You wanted Kite to get Harlow and Myra on their way to the houseboat. But you were already there, waiting to do the job yourself, just in case he missed.
That's not true.
Don't lie to me, Sage. You wanted Myra, she laughed at you. You hated her for it. You wanted to kill her and every man that had ever touched her, so you shot Trumbull.
I did not.
Then who did? It wasn't Harlow, Myra, or Kite.
Leave me alone.
That only leaves you. Or maybe you're going to tell me Trumbull shot himself.
Yes.
Oh, come off it.
Yes, it's true. He shot himself. He planned it that way so that Kite would believe that Harlow shot him. He knew what Kite would do. Jason.
Let him go, Adams. He hasn't finished his story yet.
I can finish it for him.
I thought you could.
You gotta tell him the truth, Jason.
Shut up. He knows you weren't the man in the shack.
Outside of Kite, there wasn't anybody else knew the swamps well enough to get there ahead of us. I just thought it'd be easier to get the truth out of Sage.
Made me do it. He made me say he was hurt worse than he was. He made me say I gave him a sedative and he was asleep. I had to do it. I owe him money.
Shut up, Sage! My wife is no good, Adams. When I found out about her and Harlow, I began to remember all the other men that had been around in the past. I wanted to kill every one of them. Myra and all of them. Together. Dead.
And there was no one there but Harlow, and you didn't even get him.
I'm not through yet.
You're through, Trumbull. That rifle isn't loaded. I wouldn't have left it with you if it had been. Yvette had followed me from the houseboat. She knew I was the one who'd shot Kite, but she also knew I wasn't the one who had really killed him. By noon the next day, I'd found the boat hidden by Kite, and along with the wounded Shep, Yvette, and Sage, headed back for civilization and a session with the police. Yvette? Like most of the old manor houses in the bayous, the Shadows were supposed to be haunted. If so, it now had some new ghosts.